my fellow hustlers. Today, I'm going to walk you through how switching from doom scrolling on social media to micro learning has really changed my life in 2025. So, I'll take you through my about 6 or 7 month journey of how I really set some pretty strong goals and have been able to achieve them by really just switching out social media for intentional learning across the social platforms. So, let's get into it. So, do you feel like you waste a lot of your time on social media just scrolling? That's how I felt. So, I thought that going into this year that I was going to have a New Year's resolution to improve that, and I found by around February that I really wasn't making progress on any of my goals, on any the long-term strategies I had in place. So, I wanted to look into options for how to improve it. And of course, you can get into an analysis paralysis of all the stuff on social media, right? Everybody's got a new idea of what will change your life and make you more productive and make you hit your goals. The one interesting one that I found while doom scrolling was really the idea of switching out your social media for micro learnings, right? We learn stuff all the time through social media. This is just turning that into an intentional practice versus letting the algorithm choose for you. So in these 6 months, I sat down and said, what are the three goals that I really want to achieve that I'm not making progress on? And I came up with learning French, losing weight, don't we all want to, and starting my own business. So those are three pretty hefty goals that kind of when you try to go achieve is a lot to do at one time and you backslide and end up not making the progress you're looking for. So I said, how am I going to do this? How is micro learning going to help me achieve these three goals? So I sat down and I said, well, maybe we need to refine these goals a bit. So I took each one and I tried to make them more output or outcome goal in which I'm really saying, I don't want to just learn French. I want to be able to pass the A1 exam by the end of the calendar year. Right. So after I turned each one of these goals into a little bit more of a specific achievable result, I said, what do we need to know? What is the information about how we're going to do this that we're not clear on? That's going to help us learn something new every day, drive forward our progress, keep us focused on these goals. And there's tons of different options out there, right? When you're assessing the different learning platforms and options available to you, the most important things to factor in are really one is how much time are you going to be able to dedicate to this learning platform? And then two is really how do you learn best, right? If you're going to learn a language and the only thing you're going to do is listen, you're never going to be able to engage back, be able to do reading or typing exercises. You're not going to get a well-rounded understanding of the language, right? So you do need to be able to factor in that micro learning is sometimes going to be a little more passive and sometimes it's going to be a little more active and factor that into when you're picking platforms. So I sat down with my goals and said, these are the platforms that make the most sense. And I will say I did choose a specific language platform. So I do Duolingo. And if you're curious about how I landed there and what my experience is, there's videos coming up on that. And then I think the biggest other one I looked into was Course ERA. And they really do have a ton of options available for courses. And you can look at curriculum wise what's going to be more active things to study. And then the third one I use is our favorite platform here, everybody, YouTube. YouTube is full of so much knowledge. And I will say, as long as you do the upfront work to go really assess different creators, different channels, different playlists that are available that focus in on what you're geared to learn, then it really is a super helpful platform to teach you pretty much anything that you're aiming to achieve in life. So I think that between YouTube, Duolingo, and Coursera, these are the three platforms that I use to do the most micro learning. So of course, there's other things you can do. I do listen to audiobooks and things like that, but those three were the most helpful for me. So once I sat down and did that, I've basically just been making a weekly plan for the last 6 months to say, how am I doing on those goals? Am I focused and dedicating my time to the learnings? How much time am I still doing non-benefit added, either relaxing or socialization, whether that's reading a fiction book, watching Netflix, as long as it's not in French, to really determine am I on track? And I will say that so far, it's been a heck of a ride for the last 6 months. So across my goals, I have not yet completed the A1 exam, but I have started doing practice exams. And I do believe that I'm going to be on track to take it probably October, November timing. So feeling very hopeful I'm going to hit that goal. For the business, I have started some of the content creation streams. So I do have 3 active streams across the content creation business, and I have started my LLC. So the ball's rolling on this one. Feeling very hopeful. I have had a good 4 successful months of pretty steady income. So I will be putting out more videos coming up on what this journey has looked like, as I did document it throughout the process. And then I am down 25 pounds. So exciting that I think across my 3 goals, I would say I've exceeded my expectations on all 3. And it all came down to just making growth positive, making it an impact where I can really not take something away from my life, but feel like instead I'm just enriching or adding to it. And I think that's what the switching of social media to micro learning really tricks your brain. And it's a really easy way to help you achieve your goals without feeling like you're giving up something, which is what we a lot of times feel like when we're dieting or having to exercise or like not getting to socialize as much. So I think this is a great way to do it. Still socialize, still share what you're learning, still share what others are doing, but use it to drive your life forward. So thanks, guys. If you like this, please give it a like below and subscribe to my channel